Congratulations, you've been tasked with leading an AI or an IT project. And congratulations, this is a double-edged sword. If things go well, this is going to be great news for your business and for your career. But if it goes poorly, it's bad for both. And did you know that up to 70% of AI and IT projects fail to deliver expected results? And it's not because the technology is bad. Technology is usually fine. It's because people don't use it as designed and intended, and as a result, the organization doesn't reap the benefits they're expecting. Hi, I'm Jason Whitehead, and for over 20 years now, I've been helping business leaders and IT executives get technology used and implemented in a way that delivers clear business results. And in less than 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the 4 scenarios that you can face with any AI and IT project, so you will know if you're going to succeed or fail. If you succeed, it's great news for both your business and your career. And if you fail, it's bad news for both. So stick around to the end. So I'm going to show you a couple of charts because, well, who doesn't love a good whiteboard exercise? I've done this with boardroom executives. I've done it with CEOs and CIOs and VPs. I've done it with frontline staff implementing projects. And I've done it on bar napkins. Every time I've written out this chart, people suddenly have a light bulb moment and they go, aha, I get it now. I know what the direction we need to go, and I know where we've gotten in trouble in the past. So I want you to learn this chart and go and share it with others, or just share this video if that's easier. But let's take a quick look at what happens on every AI and IT project. Okay, so at the start of any project, we haven't invested any money. This is our ROI chart. What's the benefit and the value we've gotten? And the benefit is usually we've made more sales and got more revenue, we've lowered costs, we've saved time, we've saved headcount, we're more competitive, whatever it's going to be. We've got a larger market share. Whatever it's going to be, the idea is by investing in this new technology, whether it's an AI, a CRM, an ERP, or some other great custom system, we will be better off as an organization. And we're going to take a look at what happens, say, over a 5-year period. So when we first start, we haven't spent any money, we haven't wasted any time, we haven't wasted any resources. But that changes quickly, very quickly. And what you start to see happen is companies start spending more money and more money. They're identifying possible vendors. They're researching what can happen. They're talking to peers around, hey, what worked for you? Where should we go? What should we do? And they start to make a business case that says, we're going to be so much better off if we do this. And then they start actually building out new processes and building out their tech and cleaning the data and loading the data and training end users. And what you'll see at the time of go live is we've spent a ton of money. We've got a lot of money, resource, and energy invested in this. And if you're one of the leaders on this project, you've invested a lot of your reputation and a lot of your personal collateral in making this success. And all of this effort right here, that is a sunk cost. No matter what you do, you can't get that back. That is out there. And so the question becomes, what happens next? Well, let's take a look at what we want to have happen. What we want to have happen is say, here's our goal. A year from now, we'll be so much better off. We're going to save time. We're going to save money. Everything's going to be beautiful and everyone's going to love this. It wouldn't be great if we just could go right there and skip over all this, but we can't. So before we jump into the 4 scenarios, let's talk about what also happens here. Usually this effort has been largely driven by the technology team. And your tech team for years have been told their job is to get systems live and out the door on time and on budget. That is success for the technology team. But that's not success for the business. And it's not success for you. They're doing exactly what they've been asked to do because they've never been asked to go beyond that. And so they focus on getting it live, and then you focus on getting people trained up, focus a little change management, which usually just involves trying to communicate with people and tell them what's in it for me and sell them all this false hope. And that's the story for another video of why that doesn't work. But then they stop. And it's what I call the go live and go home scenario. We've done our project, we've trained everyone up, the system is out there, now we're just in support mode, and we've got it, you can always submit a ticket to the help desk and we're good. But here's where we are. The reality is, for most projects, down here after go live, you might get a few early adopters to use some of the system. They might experiment, see how it goes, and like, oh yeah, this is great. And others are just kind of playfully doing a little bit, but mostly ignoring it and going about their day-to-day work. And you might get a little bit more effort down the road. You might get a couple of teams to do it very well, but chances are you've got a large number of people who are not using it well or only using a very small piece of functionality, nowhere near what you were expecting. And eventually, some executive's going to come along and say, enough. We spent a lot of time, we spent a lot of money, Why are we doing this? It's been 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road, and we haven't gotten the value. We've wasted a lot of money and time. You said it would be great because you're the leader. It isn't. And then they said, we haven't solved our business problem. We're actually farther behind now because we had all this time and effort and opportunity cost as well as sunk cost. So this is the DOA scenario, dead on arrival. You definitely don't want to be there. Even if you did what you thought you needed to do, if you're there, people are going to start to question your judgment. They're going to start to question your ability to execute on projects. And they're going to start to point fingers. And maybe they'll blame the vendor. Maybe they'll blame IT. Maybe they'll blame something else. User resistance is always a fun one. But they're also going to blame whoever was leading this project who said, this is the approach we need to take. These are the steps we need to do. And they're going to blame whoever came out and said, you're going to make everything better by using the system, when clearly it didn't. So be really careful about that one. The next one I want to share with you, the next scenario, is called the long crawl. So instead of coming down here, when you start to go live, maybe you get a few more people to use the system. They see the value, there's some teams are behind it, whatever it's going to be. And you might actually get some more departments to use it. And eventually you will break even. And then, maybe you'll even come up a little bit. But what you'll notice here, your goal was to be successful, this much value, so much earlier along. You broke even later, so you recovered some costs, but it took a long time, and you never got the value that was expected. So we've been on this long crawl, and this too, better than DOA, but it's viewed as a failure. And you don't want to have your name associated with that. Let's jump into scenario 3, and I've seen this one many, many, many times. This is called the honeymoon trap, where people get really excited about the honeymoon phase, just like with a marriage. And people are like, we got the system live, people are using it, and whoa, we hit our goal year 1, that's great. And then they get confused, then they get sidetracked, then they move on to the next big project. And then everything starts to shift in your organization. We have new people come in, maybe we've done a merger, maybe we've acquired something, maybe we've had a layoff, maybe it's just people retiring, new folks coming in, whatever it's going to be. We've had changes to our staff. And then we've had changes to our competitive environment. New folks are out there that are kicking our butt. New strategic priorities come up, new products get launched, whatever it's going to be. And we get focused on other things. And when we had short-term value, very quickly over the next 2 or 3 years, we're coming right back down here to the failure zone. So here again, short-term successful, long-term failure. If someone asks you in year 1, how are you doing? Great, everything looks wonderful. People ask you year 2, 3, or 4, you don't want a part of this stink bomb. And so then it's like, well, what do we do? What is the best case scenario, and how do we get there, and what does that look like? So let's just go through this. It should be pretty obvious at this point. You focused a lot of effort on getting people to adopt the system. You break even pretty quickly. You hit your year 1 goal, and then you keep going. You say, we know things are going to change. What do we need to do for year 2, 3, 4, and 5 to make sure not only do we hit our success goal, we keep going. We keep ensuring success year after year. We keep getting the extra value that we're looking for. We've optimized our work flows. We've optimized our processes. We've optimized our technology. We've got our teams are using it really well and effectively. And they're doing things that we couldn't even imagine of 5 years ago. And this is what we call the long game. This is so important. And this is where everyone wants to be. And this is where if you start to do this successfully, your business is going to be much better off, but also your career will be. They're going to say, you did such a great job in this last big challenge initiative. We want you to take the next one. We want to promote you because we want this kind of leadership and this kind of success. So those are the 4 scenarios, but here's the important part. And here's where you really need to focus on what you're doing. Everything that happens here from the go live on, this is all about people. People changing their behaviors, changing their work habits, getting people to collaborate differently using the new systems and processes, getting people to work effectively with AI, getting people to work effectively with the process, getting people to enter data in a way that creates high quality data that can power other automations and workflows, that can power our analytics and reports and insights. All that stuff is about changing human behavior. A lot of this is tech and IT, and there's tech and IT over here too. But what the skills that you need the most and what you need to focus and what really determines your success is not getting systems live on time and on budget. It's getting them used effectively, used consistently, and used by all the people across your organization. The skills, approaches, and techniques that it takes to do that are very different than the skills and approaches and techniques to get systems live. And if you want to be over here, that long-term success, you've got to start planning for it and working for it way before go live. In fact, I had one client brought me in 6 months before they even selected their vendor, because they said, we need to make sure we really nail our adoption approach and that we get the value that we want, because this is a transformation effort for our people, not just our technology. So if you want long-term success, you got to start earlier. And most people don't know how to do this. They've never been taught. They've been taught to focus on getting the systems out the door and to train people on it. They don't know how to put in place the structures, the program, the leadership, the resources that they need to get long-term success and to sustain it year after year. If this is an area where you'd like to learn more, please go ahead and follow me, and also check out my website, jasonwhitehead.me. I've got a variety of resources and frameworks out there that can help you. And if you'd like to work directly with me, go to my website, jasonwhitehead.me, and we'll find ways to collaborate. Hope this was helpful. Thanks.